So the reason why my heart was so warmed and I felt so deeply called to Union is because of its mission. As our motto says, Union, a place for scholarship and faith. And what we mean by faith in the broadest sense, and scholarship, what we mean by that in the deepest and most profound sense, where those two energies come together for the purpose of reimagining the work of social justice in the world, or as our founders put it, to be responsive to the needs and cares of the world. That's why students come here. That's the kind of formation we create in our hallways, our classrooms, our dorm rooms, our public life together. And that is the call that brought me here. I'm sure in terms of the conversations of other women faculty at Union and leaders at Union, that too sits at the heart of it. It's a mighty calling. So it's so interesting to think about this question about what it feels like or meant or involves, even today being the first woman president at Union Theological Seminary. I have to admit that when I got the phone call inviting me to become the next president, I knew I had a lot to think about, but it felt like the sense of calling to this place was quite profound. In a sense, it was the culmination of the work that I had been doing my whole life. And I continue to feel that way today, 14 years later. Wow. To still feel that depth of calling and energy is a gift. But I also had the reaction because I was immediately, once I arrived here and even in the publicity around me, introduced to everyone and to the world as the first female president of Union Theological Seminary. And it's now almost 200-year history. And I kept having this reaction to say, that is way too long to wait to have your first woman president. Would that I was not the first woman president. Would that I was preceded by 7 women, 8 women. Union is on the cutting edge of so many issues. And yet, as an institution of higher education and a major institution in the United States, the legacies of sexism and racism and all of the oppressions that we push against are still also alive and well in the institutions we inherit. So I wish I could also say, gosh, everything at Union is so perfect that there is none of these problems. But that wouldn't be honest, and you wouldn't believe me if I said that. But I'll tell you what makes a huge difference is at Union, the dynamism of everyone. The willingness and openness to wrestle with these deep questions about, in my case, what does gender equity really mean? And in particular, I think, as most women in positions reckon with every day, is the way in which unconscious bias, even my own unconscious bias as a woman and how I was socialized, play into how we lead. So there's lots of complexity there, but to face that complexity in a place like Union is a dream, and it's a wonderful dream to be a part of. So I'm glad to be celebrating all the women at Union, the amazing women at Union, this 2022 Women's History Month.